Hello, everybody. It is Laura from SCB, and I'm joined today with Ben Wheeler. Ben, how are we doing?
Well, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good. Thanks for asking. What have you been up to today?
Today I was at the studio today, the DJ studio, just practicing, testing out some new tunes. Yeah, just not much really. I've missed work today, so
That's pretty cool. I was actually going to bring this up later on, but as you've touched on it, obviously with the DJing, so does this mean if you're going to be involved in any boxing events, are you going to be making your own ring walk music and stuff?
yeah, that's the plan. I was actually in the last one. I was in the works of it, but it came around a bit too quick to get it out. Obviously, I wanted to make it perfect. Don't want to have like any mess ups in it or anything like that. So, but on the
100%.
next one, hopefully, I should have my own tune to come out to.
That'd be well cool. That's well unique as well. Well, obviously you had a pretty unique experience with 002 with obviously the late opponent change. So how was that to navigate?
Yeah, it was interesting. It kind of spiced up each time it got changed. It kind of made it a bit more exciting. And as the opponents changed, the level of the amount of attention to that fight changed as well. So as they went on, it kind of got more and more people excited for this fight because the followings were increasing on each opponent. So yeah, kind of like talking about it with my mates as well. It was kind of like fun. Every week or 2 weeks, they'd be like, "Oh, I've got a new opponent," and we'd be like, "Oh, wait, what?" And then so it made it really exciting actually having a different opponent each time. But I would have liked having that one set opponent so I can like focus on them the whole time. That 6 weeks, just all I know is it's them and me rather than three other people. But I suppose at least the next time round it will be hopefully it should be just one opponent.
For sure. Is there anybody like obviously with 003 coming up, if you were to be on that card, is there anybody that you'd like?
Yeah, I think it's got to be. I think Dan talks fighting. I think it's got to be me and him. I was talking to Rich and everyone, and they was all saying that as well. So I think we're similar height. He might be a little bit taller. I think he might be that little bit heavier. But he was saying, I remember speaking to him. I think he's saying he wants to like cut down a little bit as well, and I wouldn't mind putting on a bit of weight to come up to his level. So I think me and him could be a very good fight. We're both a similar shape as well. So I think that would be a really good matchup.
For sure. How would you just going back to 002, sorry we keep going back and forth.
That's all right.
How would you like reflect on your experience as a whole?
Well, to be honest, I was a bit disappointed in my performance. Obviously, Afro coming out, he hadn't had much like actual training at all, and he obviously I knew he was going to come at me trying to throw like big punches, just trying to swing at me, and I should have actually kept myself at a lower level, and tried to actually box instead of just going and trying to hit him back at the same power. And there wasn't really much technique involved in that fight at all. I can't lie, it was a very messy fight. And I kind of wish I did stay a bit more composed and actually just try and demonstrate a bit of skill instead of just trying to go for like that big knockdown or whatever.
Was that your
So
first fight?
yeah, that was my first fight.
Oh
Yeah,
well. That's totally
yeah.
understandable.
But yeah, I think the pressure did like it got to me a little bit. Like when you're in the ring, you walk in the ring, you've got everyone shouting around, you've got a lot of things going on. You're sitting, you're like, oh god, and you don't want to lose, so you automatically like get into that fight or flight mode, and you just start going like at it. So hopefully in the next one I can use that previous experience, and then onto the 03, I can think about that when I'm in there and actually calm myself down a little bit instead of trying to go for that.
Yeah,
But if I
that's
was
always going to
to take
come with
on,
experience.
yeah, exactly. But if I was to take on Dan, he did look like a more of a technical boxer. I watched in his fight. He does look like he's actually quite composed, and he's trying to throw them jabs and straights and stuff like that, and should have started just swing big. So I think me and him would actually like stay at a level and just like actually try and box. So I think that's the reason why, another reason why it can be a really good fight.
Well, Rich, if you're watching, make some notes, mate. Cool. How would you like best describe your camp on a day to day? Did you find it a challenge? Obviously implementing that amount of training.
No, I've always done a lot of exercise, and I think I started at uni, and as I went to uni, I kind of stopped on the exercise. Went to the gym and stuff, and then I had this opportunity to fight, so I made sure I was training every day. I started boxing like at least once a day, trying to box every day against like friends, like just doing training drills, like shadow boxing, skipping, just doing the basics, and then I go to boxing class twice a week, and just trying to keep just trying to keep like constantly training and keep it like constant, if you know what I mean. Just every day
Yeah.
doing the same stuff. But there were some days when I'd be like, I just can't be bothered just can't be bothered. But then other days, when I was like, wasn't looking at the fight. And when I started thinking about the fight and I was like, oh, well, I don't want to lose. So I was like, I have to train. So then I
Exactly.
made sure I did actually train again. But then probably like a week before the fight, I was making sure my fitness was up, like, and wasn't really doing much boxing, but just remaining fit for the fight.
For sure. Obviously, you didn't really get tested with your fitness as such,
No,
but
yeah, it was
obviously, what would you say the main thing you got from that first fight was?
probably just realized how much I actually love getting in the ring, and how I'd obviously never stepped in the ring before and had that many people watching me. I've done like obviously at DJ, and like I've here done a few parties, like quite large parties, and it's fairly similar with everyone watching you, but it's completely different in the sense that you are trying to win, and you don't want to lose, and obviously it's not embarrassing to lose, but in yourself it's kind of embarrassing because you want to know you can win, and you want to know that you have the strength to do it.
For sure. Well, what excites you the most, just out of interest, about being involved in this scene?
It's probably bringing all my mates up to the fights,
Oh,
because last time we had such a good time before the event, after the event when we all went out, and having all my mates there, my family. It was just so fun, like bringing everyone there and seeing how, like, obviously it's an experience for them because they've never been to anything like that before, and they all said they absolutely loved it. Because obviously me and Tommy, I think we bought, I think the most people. I think I bought about 25 people with me, and
oh,
Tommy bought like
fair.
50, so, or 20. So we bought a lot of people, and because we all love it. So we know we can sell tickets as well. And especially people think we was local to Worthing, but we're not. We're from Essex. So it's still an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. And we still managed to bring 25, 40 people between us. So if this fight in London, that we can bring, I reckon we can get at least 60
I
people there,
cannot confirm or deny.
or wherever it may be. I've heard talks of London, Manchester, so we can try and bring as many people as we can.
Definitely. Well, obviously with SCB going the way it's going, the creation side from anybody that's involved is going to be a big thing. So what can we
Mm.
expect to see from you? What have you got planned or?
Yeah, I've started uploading a lot more music content. I'm just gonna upload just random videos, just of night, like doing stuff like DJing, creating music, some fitness, obviously the boxing side. I'm uploading boxing videos, training videos, like exercise workouts, yeah, boxing workouts and stuff like that.
Perfect. Well, Tommy, oh my God, you got it in my head now. Wow. Let's do that again. Well, Ben, thank you so much for your time today.
That's okay. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem at all. Right, we'll speak soon.
Yeah, see you later.
Perfect.